So I ordered the NCS cruise control for Renault Trafic 2015 onwards on Monday morning, and it arrived on Tuesday afternoon. They gave me a predicted arrival time and it arrived within that time, which was great. So very fast service. In the meantime, while the package was in transit, they sent me the installation instructions in an email. So I printed those out. There's 8 pages. There's not a lot of instructions here, just a few little wiring diagrams, and then the diagnostics and how to use it. So that's all very easy. I printed that out, but of course you could just use that online if you want to. So here's the package. So let's open it up and take a look and see what we got inside. So we've got a box with a bit of tape on it. Get that open. Okay, so nicely packed. In here we've got a little cable harness, so I believe this is the one that goes to the accelerator cable. Here's the power lead, which I think connects onto the brake cable. This is the connector that connects to the CAN bus on the back of the OBD socket. Here we've got the stalk and the wire and the plugs that go into the main control unit, and here is the main control unit. It looks like we've got the invoice there as well. So that's basically the contents. So just a few things to plug together and wire up. So next step, I guess, is go out and have a look at the installation. Okay, so here we are in the van. So the first job is to take off the cover for the OBD connector. So just pull that out, squeeze the 2 edges in, and that just unhooks. And if we take a look in here, you can just see the yellow connector, which is the OBD. There's a bit of more additional wiring hanging around in this van from previous owners. So next job is to work out where I'm going to fit the control unit. Just want to check that the cables are going to be long enough from wherever I mount it to reach down to the 2 pedal connections. I've worked out where I'm going to position the control box. So on the pedal box here, there's a couple of holes, one each side, that seem to go through here and here. So I'm going to put a little bit of foam on there, and then I'm going to put the cruise control box with the connections facing outwards on top of that, and then I'm just going to cable tie it from the holes in the end of the control box here through those holes in the pedal box. That'll get it mounted fairly firmly. There'll be a little bit of wobble, but I don't think that's going to matter. Okay, so that's mounted now on those 2 holes with cable ties. Got a bit of foam underneath. Moves around a little bit, but not too badly, and I think once the cables are in place, that'll hold it nice and secure. And it's nice simple mounting under there using cable ties, no need to drill any holes. The next bit is to connect up to the CAN bus. Have to say I'm most nervous about this because I guess if it goes wrong it might do some damage. However, we need to solder some wires in here. So the OBD connector just pops out. It's got a little clip on the top here. You can push it out to the back. You can pull it down about this far, so there's a very small amount of space to work in here. So I guess you could use Scotch lock connectors if you've got ones the right size, or you can solder it. They do recommend that you solder it, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I've got the CAN bus connected, checked about 5 or 6 times to make sure I got it the right way around, because I don't want to have to take that out and do it again. It's a real pig working back there. There is just about enough cable length, but it's very small in the back, and it's going to be a tricky job, so just allow plenty of time for that. So then the end of the cable's just down here, ready to get plugged in. So now I can move on to the next step, which is connecting up the accelerator loom. Okay, so we've got to disconnect the existing accelerator plug from the accelerator. So there's a little clip just here which you squeeze in and then pull that off. Okay, and then the new loom just plugs in exactly where that one came from. Assuming we've got it the right way round. Assuming we've got the right plug. And clips into place, and then we join the old accelerator cable into the new plug on the new bit of loom, and that clips into place. So that's the accelerator wiring done. Up at the other end I've plugged that into the back of the cruise control box, and I've also plugged in the OBD2 cable. Okay, so at this point I hit a slight snag, because in my version of the van there's no brake pedal switch inside the cab. I don't know where they've done it, it's probably on the master cylinder somewhere. It was an opportunity to call the guys at NCS. They were absolutely excellent. The bloke who answered the phone knew exactly what I was talking about. He was able to advise me that any ignition switched positive will do instead of that brake pedal connection. So I'm going to connect it up under the cowling when I take the cowling off to fit the indicator stalk. He also said that in the loom I've got, you don't need to connect the ground black lead, because that's already incorporated into the main harness, so again that simplifies things. So as I say, great experience with customer service, so I wouldn't worry too much if you're a bit nervous about doing this install, because I'm pretty sure they'll be able to help you out. Okay, so I've just wound up all the spare cable and just cable tied it loosely to the little bit of plastic here that's the heater vent. Obviously it doesn't need to be particularly strong and secure. I guess one thing to bear in mind is when you put the little storage drawer back in here, you need to make sure you've got enough room behind so that this wiring isn't going to pull too tight, but I think we're okay there. Okay, so next step is to get the stalk installed. I'm going to take the cowling off so we can drill the hole for the stalk and run the wiring through. There's two screws, they are Torx T20, and they come out pretty easily, and then we can just remove the lower plastic casing. So I think I'm going to fix it about here. I did think about putting it a bit higher up, but then it's going to be right in front of the air blower, so that'll be annoying. So I just think down here should be fine. Now you can change the angle just by rotating this stem, and obviously you can choose a variety of different angles. What you need to do then is you need to just slide the end off, and then you can rotate it around on this spline shaft, choose the exact angle you want so you can get it exactly where you want it. And then there's a little clip you push in place once you're happy with the position, and that will just hold it. So next job I've got to do is drill a hole. It's going to go around about there. I've checked down behind, there's nothing in the steering wheel cowl down there that's going to be a problem. So I just need to now charge up my electric drill, which has gone flat, and then I can go ahead and drill the hole, push the wire through, and then we're nearly there. Okay, so here's the stalk fitted in place, and I've rotated the front here to the angle I want it at. I haven't clipped the clip in yet, because I just want to take it out for a drive and check that's exactly where I want it. I left a bit of a loop of wire just inside here, so that if I do need to pull this off and turn it around a little bit, I'm not going to be yanking the wire too tight. And then the wire ran effectively just over the top here, just underneath the cowling, down this side, and then popped out here. And I've now plugged in the wires according to this diagram. Not sure if you can see that. Yeah, this diagram. So I'm now going to plug those into the cruise control, and then I'm ready to start the test. Okay, so I've done the self-test. I got a little bit confused by test 5, which is the RPM connection, but there is a little note at the bottom of the page that says, please note, test 5 is not essential to many vehicles. So I am now going to go out and do a road test and make sure that if I depress the clutch pedal, the cruise control will become disengaged, and also when I check the brake pedal, and also obviously make sure that the cruise actually works as expected. So I'm going to nip out now and report back. Okay, well I'm back from a little test ride, and I can report that it all works perfectly, absolutely no snags or glitches or anything. It'll hold cruise control at 20 miles an hour, which is brilliant for obviously the new in-town speed restrictions. It cuts out when you press the brakes or the clutch or the cancel button on the back of the stalk. I managed to program the two presets, and they click in and out really easily. And I haven't tried the speed limiter yet, because I didn't really plan to use that anyway. Yeah, all good. So I reckon it's probably taken about 2 hours. You could almost certainly do it quicker than that. Obviously I've been stopping to film and trying to make sure things are as clear as possible, whereas if you just got stuck in and did it, you could probably, I guess, hour and a half would be a sensible installation time. Positives, well, it's just really easy to fit. Obviously you've got to connect into the CAN bus connections at the back of the OBD connector, which is a little bit tricky, just getting in there, finding enough space to work, and then you've got to find an ignition positive. But then in terms of plugging in the rest of the connectors, really straightforward. Probably the longest bit actually was mounting the stalk and finding somewhere to mount the control unit. So so far so good. Obviously if there are any problems I'll post again, but I would say really straightforward, extremely good value for money. The cost of the unit is far less than one speeding ticket, so it's got to be worth it from that point alone. And I'm off on a 2,000 mile round trip over the next couple of weeks, so it'll be really valuable for that. So hopefully I won't have any problems with it. Hope this has been useful. As I say, really good kit. The company is NCS. Fantastic service, excellent support, really quick delivery, and a product that seems to just plug in and work and has been really well thought out.